One thing that I try to do is I try to place myself in other people's shoes. I try to see it from their point of view. But one thing that I can't do is figure out how anybody could feel good about themselves knowing that you had to cheat or hack in order to try to get ahead in a stupid video game. Like, how can you go to sleep at night and feel like you're good at anything if you had to bypass the rules in order to get an upper hand? And if you have to do that, it's not just your personality and your morals that suck. It must mean that you literally suck ass at playing video games. You suck so bad that you can't play on a level playing field. You have to try to get ahead. And one thing that I guess really blows my mind is just how many of these lowlifes are out there. And it happens in a lot of games, it happens on all platforms, but it happens a lot on PC. And with PC, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it's cool that you can modify files because you get mods and you get experiences that you otherwise wouldn't get, of course. But on the other hand, it means that some people are going to use cheap tactics in order to try to get an advantage. I mean, I've been playing video games for a long time. I've always, run into cheaters, but it's been here and there. But, I mean, it does happen a lot more on the PC games. And I think this week was the first week I've actually been run off of a game that I really enjoyed due to cheaters and due to hackers. And part of it's my fault because I'm talking about Reign of Kings. And I did a video a few weeks ago talking about how much fun we were having playing with this game. Like, I sunk a lot of time into this. And I mean, there were several different server wipes, so it wasn't like this. It was just one continuous game. I played through like 4 patches of this game, racked up like 150 hours, which isn't something to really be proud of in such a short period of time. But, I mean, we were having a blast with it. But first off, do not go buy this game. At least not until it leaves early access, if it even ever does. And that's one of the things against early access we've talked about before. You're taking a risk anytime you play one of these games. And I still think the game is a lot of fun. I still enjoy the concept of it. I wish I could play it. But I've played through 4 patches now, each one claiming that they were going to address hackers. And I still cannot find a server where you don't run into some douchebag. And I think that's the thing that surprises me most. Just not, that people are doing it, but how many people are doing it. And there literally has to be thousands of people cheating, at least in just this one game, And I mean, that's just one game that we're talking about, which is really just, absurd. And like I said, it's not the first game that this has happened on, but it is the first game where I've actually had to stop playing due to it. And, I mean, I can remember games like back in the day. I played original Ghost Recon, and people would glitch in the rocks or, behind a wall where you couldn't, kill them if you're facing them face to face. But at least that you could, flink around and still hit them from behind. But some of these hacks and cheats, I mean, there's just nothing you can do other than just sit back and watch these idiots just go to town on you. And it's really frustrating, especially when you have developers who don't come down hard on these people. And I don't believe this developer for Reign of Kings is actually doing that. I know that they've banned a few hundred people, but I think it could be a lot more concrete than what they've been doing. And, I mean, if you ask me, if you're caught modifying a game, if you're caught outright exploiting it, you shouldn't get, a few weeks ban or something else like that. I mean, it should be a permaban. That should be it. You should lose your money for buying that game, and you shouldn't get to play it anymore. And you should probably also catch a venereal disease. But you're probably not, because you're a loser, so you're not getting laid. But, I mean, I was reading where there was one dev who was kind of like a hero this week that I read about. And he was a developer for Guild Wars 2, I think it was. And there were a lot of people who were reporting this one player who was abusing and hacking the system, causing massive headaches for a lot of people. So what this dev did was he actually took over that player's character, made him naked, and then had him jump to his death from the top of a bridge. All of this before they then permabanned him. So they also recorded it to upload it to show everybody, kind of made an example of this guy. So I was, pretty impressed with that. And honestly, we need more devs like that. And, I mean, it kind of sucks. I mean, there's nothing really else I can do about it except for, put out a rant video But it is a shame that the vast majority of the population, plays a game the way that it's intended to be played, but you've got a handful of people who just, aren't very good at video games and, will go to whatever links necessary in order to try to get an upper hand advantage. And a lot of these people are even paying for this. Like, I found the forums and everything where they were, coming up and trying to figure out how to cheat in this game. And I mean, people are paying good money. People are making good money, giving these idiots, something to do with their time. So anyway, kind of sad, but it is what it is. But it's one area where I say the consoles definitely have an upper hand advantage. Because I'm not saying that it doesn't happen on consoles, but I can definitely say that it happens a lot less on console, especially compared to the PC. If you want to read this story about this dev who made the guy naked and permabanned him, I will link that story down in the description box. Post your stories below about the cheaters you've run into, and have you ever been run off a game before due to hackers? That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.